Number 9. Naomi Irian. 18-year-old Naomi Irian disappeared from a Nevada Walmart parking lot during the early morning hours one day in 2022 while she was waiting for a shuttle to take her to work. Surveillance footage reportedly showed a hooded man circling the young woman's car before forcing his way into the vehicle. The man is then seen driving away with Naomi in the passenger seat. Acting on a tip several weeks later, investigators discovered Naomi's remains in a shallow grave at a remote mining property in Churchill County, Nevada. She suffered multiple gunshot wounds, which was determined to be the young woman's cause of death. Authorities charged 41-year-old mining worker Troy Driver with first-degree murder, kidnapping, destroying evidence, and various other crimes related to the horrific incident. His lawyer hinted at the possibility of an insanity defense when he requested a mental evaluation for Driver. However, the suspect was found competent to stand trial and could face the death penalty if convicted. At some point after Driver's arrest, social media rumors claimed that he took his own life in his jail cell. But that wasn't the case, and he's still alive. His next hearing is scheduled for February 2023, but for now he maintains his innocence. In another eerie abduction case, a 24-year-old mother of two named Chelsea Walker disappeared from a Walmart store in Madison, Tennessee, several months after Naomi's kidnapping and murder. She was reportedly working for the store's online grocery pickup service at the time. Chelsea's remains were found in late 2022 at a remote grave site in a neighboring county. According to the most recent update on the case, police had 2 suspects in custody and were expecting to file formal charges in connection with her death. For now, a man named Andrew Young faces a charge for using Chelsea's debit card after her disappearance. The investigation into the young woman's mysterious death is ongoing. Number 8. Bizarre family brawl. When an employee at an Arizona Walmart went to use the restroom during his shift one day in 2015, 2 men allegedly blocked him at the entrance and pushed him away. They would later claim that their mother was using the bathroom and that they were guarding it. The worker called the police, who arrived to find a well-known family of street musicians known as the Gavers in the parking lot. They had no known history of violence, but an affidavit claimed that 2 of the 7 or 8 family members who were present immediately attacked and disarmed a responding officer. A shootout ensued between the 2 parties, leaving a state trooper and a member of the Gaver family both shot in the leg. Another one of the Gavers was shot in the head and died from their injuries. 5 family members were charged in connection with the incident, including brothers Jeremiah and Nathan, who were accused of assaulting a law enforcement officer. Family patriarch Nathan Gaver was charged with resisting arrest and hindering prosecution, while his wife Ruth was charged with assaulting an officer as well. Nobody seems to know what made the family tick. While the Gavers were certainly known as an eccentric bunch who lived in their van, they were also considered harmless up until that point. Boise resident Stephanie Matlock, who became familiar with the group when they lived in Idaho, told the Arizona Republic that she wasn't surprised that the Gavers did something out of the ordinary, but that she was surprised that they were involved in the shooting incident. Nathaniel Gaver was sentenced to time served of 365 days in 2016 and was ordered to have no contact with the victims of the incident or the members of his family that were also arrested. Unfortunately, the outcomes of the other family members' cases are unclear. Number 7. Naked Fugitive. Passengers on a Los Angeles-bound Greyhound bus experienced sheer terror in early 2022 when a man who'd been behaving erratically throughout the ride opened fire inside the vehicle. The shooting happened outside a convenience store in Northern California shortly after 21-year-old Asadi Coleman boarded the bus. He allegedly told fellow travelers that Los Angeles was a dangerous city and showed them the gun he was carrying. Just moments later, he accused a passenger of being an undercover cop and started shooting at people. 5 people were shot during this senseless act of violence. 3 victims were rushed to the hospital in critical condition, including a pregnant woman, and another 43-year-old woman died from her injuries. Coleman ditched the gun and fled the scene on foot, but he only made it to a Walmart store about a half mile, 0.8 kilometers away, where he got into a fight with a customer. After the brawl ended, Coleman took off all his clothing. He was completely naked by the time the cops arrived. Butte County District Attorney Michael Ramsey told local station KTLA that the suspect has a juvenile record and a somewhat transient lifestyle. At the time of the shooting, he had a warrant out of another county for a gun charge stemming from a previous incident. For his most recent actions, Coleman faces 1 murder charge, 4 counts of attempted murder, and 2 weapons charges. If convicted on all counts, he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. The case has encountered several delays, including 2 court appearances that Coleman missed when he refused to get dressed and leave his jail cell. He also underwent a mental evaluation and was deemed competent to stand trial. Number 6. April Jones. During a shopping trip at a Walmart store in Florence, South Carolina in 2015, April Jones stepped on a rusty nail. It got lodged in her foot and caused sharp, excruciating pain. She went to the hospital for treatment, but the wound became infected after the visit. Doctors amputated her toes, but the infection continued to spread, resulting in 2 more amputations and the loss of nearly her entire leg. The ordeal left April confined to a wheelchair and completely changed her life. She can no longer play with her grandkids, participate in church activities, or travel the way she used to. In addition to her physical suffering, she struggled mentally and emotionally with the changes and just isn't the person she used to be, according to the lawsuit. April sued Walmart for past and future medical expenses, alleging that the company created dangerous conditions that staff members either knew or should have known were unsafe. The company's attorneys adamantly denied Walmart's responsibility, alleging that the case falls short of proving that employees were responsible for the stray nail or even knew about it. After the case languished in court for 4 years, the jury finally got the opportunity to deliberate. After just 90 minutes, they came back with a verdict in April's favor, winning her $10 million. Walmart announced its plans to challenge the ruling, stating that the company doesn't feel the decision accurately reflects the facts of the case. Number 5. Deadly parking dispute. In September 2022, police responded to a call about a hit-and-run outside of a Walmart store in Concord, North Carolina. They arrived to find 55-year-old Leon Philip Fortner, a well-liked community member and the owner of a popular gaming store, dead in the parking lot. Officers learned that Fortner had gotten out of his car to confront another motorist in a dispute over a parking space, only to be fatally mowed down. Fortner's wife, Mary, was with him during the deadly encounter, but she didn't witness the actual collision. She said her husband exited their van while she waited for him in the vehicle. Mary began to worry when Leon didn't come back, and she became even more concerned when she saw a crowd of people gathering around something and recording with their cell phones. The suspect fled the scene, but police were able to identify him with the help of witness descriptions and other evidence. They arrested Anthony Scott Amy at his home in Charlotte the morning after the deadly dispute. He faces a felony hit-and-run charge and is out on bond while awaiting his next court date. Authorities have yet to reveal the exact details of what led up to the tragedy. Number 4. Gulf Coast arsonists. Starting in May 2022, a group of serial arsonists started fires at multiple Walmart stores throughout Alabama and Mississippi during business hours, sending panicked customers fleeing from the store. While investigators tried to track down the suspects, who were captured on surveillance video, the perpetrators sent a chilling 7-page manifesto to local media stations. The group, who called themselves the Veterans Order, sent one of the disturbing letters to Fox 10. A list of demands was added to the manifesto, which called for changes to Walmart's commerce practices, an $18 an hour wage for all workers, and better healthcare benefits for employees. They gave the corporation 48 hours to meet the demands, threatening to start more fires if the company failed to do so. The arsonists also claimed that they had more activists on standby who were ready to join their so-called fight. Detectives connected the crimes to 7 suspects from Nebraska. Jeffrey Sykes was accused of being the mastermind behind the vigilante movement. Prosecutors claimed that Sykes fled Nebraska in 2017 after being sentenced in a federal wire fraud case. He and other members of the group allegedly made money by committing financial crimes while living together in a small rental house in Lillian, Alabama. Sykes pleaded guilty in federal court to one count of conspiracy to maliciously destroy by fire. 6 other suspects, including Sykes' wife, Erica, also took plea deals for various charges. According to the most recent update, everyone involved was awaiting sentencing. Number 3. David Connors. During his day off from his job as a corrections officer, David Connors went to a Walmart in Georgia to buy some things he needed for his house. He was minding his own business in the electronics section when a loss prevention employee approached him and accused him of being a repeat shoplifter. In what appeared to be a case of mistaken identity, the worker called Connors, who's African American, by the wrong name. The staff member proceeded to get the manager involved and called the local police. Connors showed his police badge and his ID to the responding officers, showing that they obviously had the wrong man, but he still ended up getting handcuffed and was detained for a half hour in the store's loss prevention office. He was finally let go when officers from his department FaceTimed the police and employees at the scene and confirmed that they had the wrong person. It shouldn't have taken that much effort to prove it though, and in early 2022, Connors filed a lawsuit accusing Walmart and 2 staff members of racial profiling. His lawyer, Terrence Madden, told the Washington Post that nobody ever apologized to Connors for the humiliating mix-up. He also claimed that his client now struggles with mild post-traumatic stress symptoms. Number 2. Middle-aged mayhem. Grandmother of 4, Alice Keener, was working as a tax preparer at a Walmart store in Deer Park, Texas in 2015 when she found herself in a petty argument with 37-year-old Jessica Alberts. Keener would later accuse Alberts of calling her names for no reason while she was helping a customer. However, Alberts argued that Keener insulted her husband a few days earlier when he was in the store. We'll likely never know exactly how it started, but it wasn't long before the unpleasant exchange of words escalated into a physical fight that was captured on camera. The video showed Alberts making the first move by headbutting Keener. A brief struggle ensued between the pair before they parted ways. After the footage went viral, both Alberts and Keener posted videos on social media, with each claiming they acted in self-defense. Keener was apologetic and remorseful, stating that she would take the incident back if she could, explaining that she acted out of character because she was overwhelmed by emotions. She initially declined to press criminal charges against Alberts, but she changed her mind when she learned that 2 of her teeth were knocked loose during the altercation. In the video she posted on social media explaining her side of things, Alberts was put off by the fact that authorities were pursuing a criminal assault charge against her, but not Keener. She wondered out loud why that might be the case, apparently forgetting that she took the first hit. But she also expressed regret and apologized for her actions. In the end, Alberts pleaded no contest to the charge and was sentenced to a year of probation. Number 1. Teen tragedy. A late-night trip to Walmart in Nashville, Tennessee took a disturbing turn for 2 young women in 2022. One of them ended up dead, and the other is now behind bars. It all started when a heated argument broke out inside the store between Isabel Jackson and Malia Powell. They went their separate ways, but the disagreement resumed in the parking lot, where Isabel allegedly challenged Malia to a fight while charging at her with a pocket knife. Malia was fatally stabbed during the altercation, and Isabel fled on foot. Investigators identified Isabel as their prime suspect through surveillance footage. They don't believe she and the victim knew each other, and it's unclear what their fight inside Walmart was about. But regardless, Isabel is now facing a criminal homicide charge for her alleged role in Malia's death. Would you rather be accused of stealing from Walmart and be forced to fight the charges even though you're innocent, or break your arm due to a missing wet floor sign and have the company refuse to cover your medical bill? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!